Hey everyone, I've got Brendan Lewis here today from Searchbox, and he's going to be sharing a little bit more about his experience working together with us and telling us a bit more about what he does as well. Welcome, Brendan.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
No worries, always a pleasure. It was a while ago when we first started working together, and yeah, it's great that we still in contact and doing work together here and there as well. And I just wanted to obviously get you on this interview to share your experience and some insights from our work together.
Yeah, I'd love to. Maybe I'll start with a little bit about myself.
Please, telling a bit more about yourself and what you guys do.
Yeah. So just, I guess, for context for those listening, I'm Brendan Lewis. I'm the co-founder and head of growth at Searchbox. We're really fortunate, I guess. If I step back about five and a half years ago, my wife and I co-founded this business together, and we're fortunate to be, I guess, blessed to be working with some of our best clients in some very specific niches around Australia and the UK, specifically in dental practices, working with property developers and wealth creators. We also help larger companies like ASX listed companies to solve their recruitment problems using our strategies. And I guess a little bit about what we do, we use paid advertising online to, I guess, attract ideal customers for the brands we work with through lead generation. And I guess another part of our business supports those clients with regards to their sales process and helping give them the systems, the tools and the resources to be able to take the leads that they generate and actually convert them into booked appointments, presentation sessions and paying customers. So it's a beautiful journey we've been on over the years. Some of our clients we've had for 2, 3, even 4 years that have worked with us. And I guess my story in terms of partnering with you, Ryan, I was really glad that we met because I guess at the time I was looking to diversify our own business development strategies. We'd relied on word of mouth, I guess, as most businesses do as they start, and we've been using our own online lead generation to attract clients. But what you had was something very compelling in the sense of being able to use LinkedIn as a diversification strategy to help us to build, as I would say, B2B relationships through LinkedIn. And I'm so glad we decided to work with you, because I think over time, if I think about the return we've seen versus kind of what we've invested with you, I mean, the numbers, it's at, $7.50 to every $1 we've invested. So that's a 7 to 7.5x return, and it's growing.
It's awesome to hear us. The reason I like hearing that is not just because obviously the return, but so many people just don't know the numbers, and it's really refreshing just hear $7.5 for everything invested. It just shows that good maturity around understanding the return and things like that. And it wasn't necessarily in the beginning. We can dive into this a little bit as well. There wasn't necessarily a return in the beginning, and I think your story is a good case of the importance of understanding your customer lifetime value and what you can afford to, I guess, spend to acquire a client. And we did a lot of testing on your account as well, and to try and find that sweet spot. And I mean, we could talk a little. I know you specialize in targeting dentists more so now than originally, but we did try that on LinkedIn. And if you want to share how that went.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I mean, there are 2 or 3 very specific niches we work in, and dental practice owners is one that we've been fortunate to grow with, and we did try that together on LinkedIn, and we had some really poor reply rates, or people weren't even connecting with us, right? Like dentists, clinicians, practice owners, they don't seem to use LinkedIn the way they maybe use other mediums. And I think, as a business owner who works with other business owners, and, one thing that I've learned over time is you have to try and you have to optimize based on what you learn. There is never going to be that golden bullet, and the expectation, I think you said something earlier just then, was understanding what your client's worth and understanding what you're prepared to spend to acquire your favorite clients or your ideal clients. And, we work with business owners as well. So if I was to share a little bit of the experience that I've had with you, it'd be the exact same as the experience that business owners have with us. They want to see results straight away, and that would be lovely. But sometimes it takes a little bit of trial and optimization to really hone in on the exact niche and the exact message, and the results will come. And I think staying with the process was probably something we did. In the first 2 or 3 months, we probably didn't have an ROI. We probably didn't have a break even. But the minute we started to catch our ideal clients, we started to realize that our ideal clients, and we know our number in terms of what our ideal clients work to us, 7.5x return at the moment is only going to grow, because the more work we do with the clients we've picked up through working with you, the larger that number grows in terms of a return on investment. And that's the same that our clients see with us. So definitely a lesson learned with the dentist. It didn't work, but you know what?
That's what I think you did well is you were willing to test and try different messaging, different markets. And that's what we love doing more and more of these days is, like, in order to find the best, you have to find who's the worst as well. Like, you need to test different things. What was really surprising, I think it's just an interesting insight, is like sometimes targeting markets that are thriving isn't always the best as well, because we were targeting home builders through COVID and they were just too busy to even care about lead generation. Well, at least on LinkedIn anyway. And we had the best offer. Like, you really got to find that market with the right need as well. Even if you have the best service, if they're not needing that at this point in time, it's just not gonna work from a lead gen and marketing perspective.
I agree. I think the need has to be there, and sometimes it's a timing thing. The need is always there, but sometimes the need is satiated because there's a supply and demand issue. And as we found with home builders, the supply was, I guess, just on them. They had more work than they can handle. Margins were tight. I think it's a really difficult time. If I was to do the same campaign with you, let's say in 2 or 3 years' time, we're probably going to get amazing results. So I think timing is an important thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One final question is, what would you say to anyone who's thinking about working with us?
It's a great question. I think your services have evolved as well over time, Ryan. So that, first and foremost, if I was to give anyone my experience, it would be invest with someone who's willing to grow and modify their business proposition as a service to meet the needs better of the clients they work with. And one thing that you've done is, and I can see it, is when we signed up with you and the service that you provided us compared to the service that you offer now, I can see the improvement and I can see the evolution on how much better your service is for us as clients of yours. And
and having that feedback is super valuable as well. Sorry, I spoke over you, but that feedback is invaluable as well. So I think that's a lesson to anyone, is to take that feedback on board, because ultimately the customer is always right. If they're not happy,
there's a message in that. And so as part of the the decision-making process of anyone who may be wanting to work with you, Ryan, I think first and foremost is choose a service provider who is committed to delivering the best, or even improving their service capability to meet your needs better. And I love that. That on the journey we've been on, I think your communication is amazing. We have systems and processes in place to be able to communicate with each other. Through dashboards, we can see exactly what's going on. There's never a time where I felt, or my team felt, like we don't know what Ryan's up to, we don't know what the team's doing. We always had up to the minute kind of dashboards, and the communication was always very strong. You were always available through being able to book in and have a chat. And I think the turnaround times were really quick. Like you hear horror stories in these industries of, people making a sign up and go through like waiting for onboarding and they never hear anything, and then they wait for their campaigns and they never hear anything. But I think we were in and out with your process like within a couple of weeks or even less, which was amazing. So, results aside,
Deadline.
yeah. And, look, I hate saying this, but like results aside, the results have been amazing. But the decision around working with you, we didn't know the results were going to be like this at the time. So I think the real decision was around picking someone who actually cared about us and our outcomes. And I think that's what you do in your business.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Brendan. I really appreciate it. Obviously, kind words are nice to hear. And while we're working together, obviously, all the feedback that helped improve the product, very valuable. And just your time today. I know you're a busy business owner. I know you've got a lot of really exciting things on at the moment as well. So very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. That's awesome. And all the best for business in the future.